Hello, my friends. Again, it will be posted in the morning, but as usual, I'm doing this in the evening. Today, it will be about Deutsche Bank and the problem with suicidals. And one young man is missing related to, he was a whistleblower. So I would like to touch that story. Gaetz, Manafort, and Klunik, and Navalny. So first I want to ask Donna Ackles, the winner of the free lottery, to contact with me. Please send me your email with your phone number. So far she didn't contact with me yet. Okay, and I want to tell you something about, because Prince Philip his funeral was yesterday. The story that somehow I know about him is about his most beautiful woman in that time when she was young. She was one of the most desirable ladies in Europe, and she was deaf. Age 7, she lost her hearing, but she learned 3 languages or 4 languages just by reading lips. Very intelligent lady. Eventually she ended up in institution for a while. She was marrying Prince Philip's father, but he cheated on her and she broke down. And she was working as a nurse, so she was really nice human being. And she was very big time smoker. So I don't think Philip ever was a smoker. Probably he didn't want to go that direction. So that's enough about Prince Philip. But I will start talking about Navalny as well. They are saying that he is very sick, and his supporters are saying that his potassium level is extremely high. Navalny is complaining that they are feeding him against his wish, so probably they are giving him a lot of IV. On that you can live for a long time, but he's just suffering. And in the previous video I saw the flag going halfway down, which means usually when someone passed away. So we have to be prepared that that's his future is not too great. So that was about Navalny, and I did already reading about that, so I'm not going back to this. This is something today I was excuse me, reading a lot about 2 bankers who were involved with Deutsche Bank. 2 of them committed suicide. That's kind of unusual. Usually those bankers are very, and thank you, Christina, for that necklace. They are usually very stable people. They usually don't think about suicide. So one committed suicide in 2014, and his son was a whistleblower. Now his son is missing. He is, I think, in Los Angeles. He is missing since April 6th. So someone asked me, Laura is asking about Val Brocksmith, sorry. Last seen April 6th. He is long-time source about Deutsche Bank. He's missing. So I found interesting video about interview with him, 2 hours interview. So I don't, I don't think everyone has that much time. But I was kind of interested. I want to know more what's happened with him. I want to have some vibes. So I was watching that, and he is. The name of that video was Deutsche Bank whistleblower Val Bergsmith interview. That was over a year ago old interview. And he was telling in that interview how many people he informed and what he did with the papers eventually. So he was interrogated by FBI. He was the Congress was listening to him. He was contacting with Adam Schiff, and eventually he sold his papers to, Glenn Simpson. And he is famous investigator related to this year future GPS. So very kind of, intriguing story. Why is that young 45-year-old man who was born in Ukraine, and somehow he ended up to being adopted son for that banker, and he got so many papers from his father. So really quite intriguing story if you want to watch that one. And when I saw a vision, it was like the first vision was, it's something that is covered with black fabric. The fabric is falling down, and I think it's a monument behind the fabric. But that's what I didn't really see too much, but the veil kind of fell down. And I think that means that some secrets will come out. That was creepy feeling, like it's on a graveyard. So I thought that it is probably related that he will be dead. Just a moment ago I did two visions. One was Cupid or angel. That's quite common in Polish graveyards. People are putting those angels on in so many places. And the other thing was postman, but it was not that he gave the letter, it's like he threw the letter. So I don't know even if we will receive any information about, because it was like the postman threw the letter and it could go with the wind. So I don't know if we will learn even what's happened to that 45 young man. His name is Val Bergsmith. And so I will pull 3 cards. I want to know more what we will learn about him. He opened a lot in that video, especially at the end. There was so many information about Don, his connection with Deutsche Bank, because it was everything related to the Deutsche Bank. Yes, he is probably with an angels. He was confused, he didn't know what to do, but he did something irresponsible. So I know that he was taking drugs, but I don't have the feeling that it was him who committed suicide. I think that someone has helped him. Okay, so this one is... And another guy who committed suicide, apparently, and his name was Tom Brose. he committed suicide in 2019, and he was the banker who signed off Trump loans, found that he was managing as well Epstein's funds. So Jeffrey and Don, they had very big connection with Deutsche Bank. Whoever is interested with Tom Brose, that he committed suicide. He was afraid that someone will come and chop his hands, so he did that. He wanted to do everything his own way, so he did commit a suicide. He ran away from he thought that he is in a hole, and he wanted the secrets to come out. He was a strong man, and he wanted to be respected, but I'm burning myself. So he did this, he committed suicide, but it was like he was forced to do it. Okay. Why the government treasurer revealed the information about Manafort and Konstantin Kolimnik. And the Kolimnik sent those information to Kremlin. What was the reason that they just revealed them? And they want us to know that Don was colluded with Russia. And as a picture, I saw a pile of garbage. So, it is so easy to... we will be learning a lot about the garbage that he left behind him, and all the stories that were connected with his. There's a lot of surprises. We will be learning about Don, the family connection, his and families, and with the Deutsche Bank is supported by Russia, co-signed by Russians, and Kolumnik was co-signing for Metaphor, and he was co-signing for Don as well. All about cheating. So that will be interesting to know more. Jacqueline is asking, will it ever be proven that Don was the illegitimate president and be stripped of his privileges? And the vision that I had, it was earthquake in 1989. I was there a year later to see the damage that it was created. And still I could see some places the cars squeezed between the bridges. It was horrific. And so I have the feeling that, Jacqueline, you are correct. There will be so many information, and there will be no way that they can say that Don was not working for Russia. They will have to somehow find out that he was double S, and he was following the money. He was only about the money, fulfilling his own dreams, and he put a lot of work to achieve that. So, he was evangelicals. They love him. It's 1/4 of Americans are evangelicals, and they love him to this day. So that will be huge awakening for them, knowing who he really was, and for people to discover more. It will be painful, but I had even at the beginning, one of my first videos, and it was about maybe 3.5, 4 years ago, was about the spy in White House, and I think that's what I was aiming. Maybe I was not that brave that time, but it was much easier to say that time than now. So Jacqueline, I think you are correct. June S. Sorry. Will Matt Gaetz be found out to have ties with Epstein and Don Don? And I think with Epstein. I think because he knew Don, he was kind of aware who Epstein was. They are both from Florida. You know, it's so easy to be connected in that small, rich world by money, by bankers and so on. So, especially that they have taste for young girls underage. So I wouldn't be surprised that Don is the connection probably between two of them. We will have to wait until we will learn more. But it was all about the sharing money and privileges and fame and who is who. Christy J. would like to know if our remote viewers can see what Russian remote viewers are viewing. And when I close my eyes, I saw that they are observing the ships, submarine ships, underwater ships. So I think they are very aware how to use the remote viewers, how to let them to spy on the under ocean and looking for the Americans' military ship. So, 3 cards. They have, I don't understand how they are working in pairs. So Americans are doing probably exactly the same what they are doing. So I wouldn't be surprised that they are kind of interfering with each other. The men's and women's are doing this for their own countries. So I think Americans are doing the same thing to them. Elaine G. What is the real reason Republicans are afraid of Biden will pack the court? And I see a lot of mouth. So freedom of speech, the more people are debating, the better. So that's probably they are afraid that some of the rules will never come out if they will be packed. Supreme Court, because the decisions will be much harder to make. The legal things will be more reliable about the law, and they will have to work together, knowing, being exposed to what they were studying, what the real law is. So it will be much more equal. Laura, will this be a hurricane season? Which states will be affected? Sorry. And Gulf, Peninsula, and Northeast from there, and Florida, east of Florida as well. So I think the Florida will be from both sides affected, and from Gulf, from Mexico, from Texas, maybe even Mexico, New Mexico. I don't know if that can go even that far, but we will have to see what the cards are saying. Biden will be trying to help as much as possible observing from outside, so people will have enough days to be prepared, and there will be a lot of damaging. So FIFA? No, I don't know how you call that agency that is helping people, but they will have to be very helpful. BL is the question, yeah? Thank you. Will Stacey Abrams run for governor of Georgia? And I saw her moving so smoothly like a ballerina. So I think she will be very easy going for that position, especially after what was going on lately. Yes, the intuition is good. Biden will promote her, will help her, and yeah, like on the water, so she will be moving forward. It might not be completely easy as I see, but I think eventually. Okay, so I will prepare us now for the circle of a good energy. Yesterday we had beautiful weather. Oh gosh. And we went for a walk. Eventually we end up having a fireplace at the backyard. It was so warm, and I'm always so cold, so if I'm saying that was warm and I didn't complain, that was warm day. Today we have that much snow. Every tree was covered. It was beautiful but cold. That's Alberta. We can have both ways. One moment very hot, another day very cold. And yesterday we are sitting by the fireplace and it's click with me. I said to my husband, a few days ago we had our anniversary, 41st, and we forgot about this. And there was so much on my head, so I understand, and I'm not the kind of wife that will be upset that my husband forgot. He did a nice dinner, not knowing that, but it was his turn to cook, and he is good cook. Now, because when we got married, he didn't know anything about cooking. Okay, now I would like to do a circle of a good energy for peace, for love, for protection from Mother Earth. Like, Mother Earth show us today that we can't make plans, because yesterday Roman and Tracy were riding on the board with short pants, and today it's winter. Mother Earth is Mother Earth. We have to respect, and hurricanes or earthquakes, everything, it's up to her. So we have to pray that she will be nice to us and not hurting, and be reasonable. We know that things like this will happen, so please give us protection to be safe, and warn in advance that people will have time to prepare for safety. And let us to love each other. Let us to be friends. I love you guys. Stay positive, and it will be posted in the morning. Thank you. Bye-bye.